Hey, Ellen. Thank you so much for coming on today. And tell everyone, how are you doing today?
Very busy, hustling every day. How's it going, everyone? Hi, Aris.
So, the reason why I wanted to come here is that you seem to strike a balance of many of the entrepreneurs I've met that have a lifestyle that equals their business too. So, I want to ask you some questions so other people can shortcut some more success. I know you look younger than what you appear to be. So I think people will be very surprised about that as well, and how you had so much change in your 20s. So let's start there. What happened in your 20s, Ellen? And what was your progress of life before you hit 28 or 29, I think, when you started Amazon?
Okay, yeah. So I'm 35 now. I know I don't look that old. Yeah. So before I started doing Amazon when I was 29, I was a video game artist. I was working for EA Games and also the other game developer company. So that was my passion, my dream job for my whole 20s. But then but then I got laid off when I was 29. Yeah, when I was 29. And back at that time, I didn't have a chance to go back to the video game industry because the economy was just so bad. There's no way I could go back. So I thought, okay, I need something that's different. And uh, back in that time, a lot of people around me were doing e-commerce. So I thought, okay, maybe I should just try it out and see what happens. So I just started doing e-commerce in my garage. Yeah, that's how we get started.
And the rest is history, I think. What are some valuable skills you've learned over the years now that you think people that are in their younger 20s and late teens need to start practicing so they don't have so much of a scare when they need to figure out, wow, I really need to balance a lot of things out?
Well, I think the most important thing is problem solving. Whenever you encounter a challenge or a question, how are you going to solve it? Are you just gonna panic like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But instead trying to figure out, like, by doing some deep analysis, get your thinking straight to solve problems. I think that the solving skill is the most crucial.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. And what are some mental frameworks and mental models you like to use as a cognitive ability?
Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, so what mental frameworks are you using to solve problems for yourself that you encounter?
Well, I like to draw stuff on the whiteboard to
Yes.
brainstorm. Where is it? Where's the whiteboard? Okay, right here. So I like to draw stuff on the whiteboard that allows me to get my thinking straight and do the brainstorming right there. It's the most easy way to do that.
Yeah, a fundamental.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great, great. And tell me about your last trips in the last 3 to 5 years, and what has been the most influential from you, the cultures that you've seen, some of the people that you have met on the trips as well. What's really impacted you because you have this freedom to not only have and operate a business so well, but on the spare time,
Right.
enjoy life?
Right. So my last trip was to Shanghai. That was a business slash leisure trip. I was there with my employees from Asia doing expo. So we had a little booth there. So basically, what we were doing there is kind of like we're selling our own scuba gear from our booth, basically just to do some brand exposure by having a booth over there. And I let most of my I let my employee, the China employee, took care of uh, most of the stuff when approaching people because I didn't understand their culture.
Oh,
Later, yeah, it's totally, and later I realized it's totally different than how we handle stuff here. It's more of a, like, here in United States in e-commerce, it's just like, okay, here's my website, you go check it out. If you're interested, buy it. And in China, they focus more on customer service. So they don't just give out the website. Instead, we gave out my employees WeChat. So it's like WhatsApp, like a social media communication app. So they want to contact my employee, and they will just tell her that, okay, so if I need anything, I can ask you and I can buy from you, right?
Wow.
That's what they need, and that's what they're all doing in China. So they're really, really customer oriented. They like that one-on-one communication to do business.
Interesting. And what do you think is your prediction of what will happen in the Amazon and e-commerce world for the next 10 to 20 years, and even as close as the next 5 years?
Well, for now, it's definitely getting more competitive for sure. But I noticed that Amazon is closing a lot of small stores that are not active.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So only people who are really serious about starting an e-commerce business can stay in there. So if you're just want to try it out, just don't even go there. Go from there. Amazon is only taking serious serious seller. And also on the other side, Walmart is trying to compete against Amazon. So they're actually recruiting the sellers from Amazon to ask them, hey, do you want to sell on Walmart? So they lowered their seller standard. Unlike before, they asked people to have at least a million revenue to sell on Walmart. But later, if you are selling great on Amazon, you should consider joining Walmart.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah. And besides that, Amazon is also trying to push in China, but I don't think they will win because China have their own policy and stuff. Taobao and Tmall is still going to be the number one, and China is still going to be the number one e-commerce country, but not so much about Amazon there.
Yeah, so you definitely think that's an advantage for people that would speak the language.
Yes.
Definitely. Great to hear. That's good to know that there's so much opportunity available for everyone.
Exactly.
So tell us about how you've been training so hard on the side, which not a lot of people see. And what books have you read on your path and your journey that really changed your perspective, whether it be in a health, wealth, love, or happiness angle?
Well, I would say the first book that totally blew up my mind was The Secret, The Law of Attraction, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
Yes.
Yes. I think my life started changing after I read that book at that point.
Me too. I definitely agree. And what about one related to business and the mindset you need to have to be successful? Because Ellen, you were so patient, which is something not a lot of entrepreneurs have naturally because they're extremely action orientated. But you as a practical and very patient person had a lot of advantage.
Right. So for that, I would suggest that Jack Canfield's Success Principles.
Cool. Great.
One of the great book, I ever read. Yeah.
What's one good principle from that book that you like to always think about?
Well, like I said, I'm a firm believer of law of attraction, but that book is only just a basic. It doesn't really talk about how you use it. But in Jack Canfield's book, it has like 67 chapter. No, not 67. I forgot how many chapter was it. But each chapter talk about exactly how are you going to apply the secret into your life. And
wow.
Doing some exercise about that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And have you read any more evolved books spiritually related to the law of attraction and The Secret?
Maybe I did. Can't remember at this point. Can't remember now.
Yeah, practicing it's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It changed my life a lot too. That's really, really great to hear. So in terms of your vision, which has given you so much opportunity and abundance to the point where people always want to call you and talk to you and you have all these meetings scheduled, how do you manage to keep it all glued together and going forward?
So I use Google Calendar, and I have an Apple Watch. So whenever I have an event set up, just enter it in my Google Calendar right away. Otherwise, I'll forget. And my watch will remind me, okay, what's my next appointment for doing coaching call or meeting someone.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And Ellen, who was your first mentor, someone that gave you guidance? It doesn't necessarily have to be related to business, but someone that gave you great inspiration.
I would say it was my dad. He's an entrepreneur.
Now we know.
That's
Amazing.
in the blood.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. And what qualities did your father pass on to you as, let's say there's other kids that were not born into a family where the mom or dad or both were entrepreneurs. What habits did you get instilled in you that you think would help other people that maybe didn't have that perspective growing up?
Right. He always telling me that just do something that other people don't want to do and you will become successful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yep.
For sure. And since you were born into that angle, did you have a natural addiction since you were young, right? What were those addictions you had in your life that you were very focused on and they helped you grow at the same time, and somewhere you felt always challenged, so you were in a state of flow?
Well, addiction, I wouldn't necessarily say addiction, but I think if I get too comfortable for maybe 2 weeks, I get paranoid. I feel like I need to do something more to stretch my comfort zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And do you help offset that and prepare? I know you're spiritual, so tell us about your meditation and how you use that in balance for your lifestyle. And when you travel, do you still meditate as well and fit that into your life?
And I try to, but yeah, no. I do it at home. It's easier to do it at home not than when I'm traveling. So I did a video earlier about how the meditation changed my life. So basically before I did meditation, my thinking got a little bit messy because I have so much things going on, always thinking about what do I do next, what do I do tomorrow. So all that crazy ideas, just like doing crazy stuff in my head. I just couldn't get my thinking straight. So I started practicing meditation. I was finally to get my thinking straight. So, and actually throughout the day, I was able to come up with more creative idea that I couldn't come up before because of meditation. So
Exactly. That's really amazing. I think a lot of people can take precise action on that alone. It's just a few minutes, right?
Yeah, just a few minutes, 10 minutes.
Just a few minutes. So tell us about your journey as a coach and having people message you and say, Ellen, I just got this amount in from Amazon directly to my bank, and I'm able to spend time with my family. I'm able to go out. I'm able to invest more into myself because you've been extremely successful as a coach so far.
So are you asking me how would I respond to them?
Yeah, tell us about your journey with your students and how you've been helping so many people.
Yeah, that was, so I started this coaching business 2 years ago, but I didn't really it didn't really take off right away because I was focusing on the wrong thing. For the whole time, I thought I have to write articles and all that, but it didn't really convert that way. Just until last November, I start really marketing myself. That's when everything started changing. So that was really new to me, and there was a lot of experiment. And I also learned a lot from my clients by doing this coaching business. So, because before, when I start this business, to be honestly with you, it was profit oriented. But after I start this business, as time goes on, I get message from my current clients saying, hey, I'm so thankful that I'm able to meet you. Look at my sales of $4,000 in 3 weeks or so. I was like, wow. And they would go like, oh, I'm so happy I can finally find you to be my mentor. So those little stuff, those really great testimonials that really just touch my heart. So I feel like, okay, I'm not a nobody. I'm able to make impact. I'm able to make impact to change people's life. So I found that that's really, I don't know how to describe that, but it's really, I just feel fulfilled. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And actually what I have written in the back is the 6 core human needs. And that feeling, that sense of contribution and meaning and significance all wrapped into one, I think that's what makes a leader, which is what you are, right? So that intrinsic motivation of leadership, which takes some time to develop, can be rubbed off a little bit on people in osmosis. Why do you think so many people are scared to approach a leader to possibly become one themselves, or realize that maybe they are a follower and it's okay to follow as well at certain points?
I think they think they're too small. Like those big influencers are probably busy all the time, so they don't. Well, I think wait. I think the reason is because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid that they won't. Those influencers won't reply them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say how interesting the experience has been in your life being with mentors? How their success, their character, their virtues just kind of rub off. And this osmosis effect happens time after time, right? Even 10 minutes with a billionaire is amazing.
Yes.
Tell us about a certain situation you've had in your life where you had, like 5-10 minutes or an hour even with someone that is super successful and just left you thinking like, wow, that's an impressive person.
Well, I'm in a mastermind group. Keith Oakley, he's the America's extreme marketing expert. So I've been with his program since last November, and just by every time when I attend his meeting, I just because his mastermind is always long, so I couldn't really focus for the whole time. But every time when I go, he just keeps talking about all the marketing idea. Even though I wasn't paying attention, but those language, those were just get into my brain without me noticing that. And I was able to use the knowledge that I learned from him to teach people that I didn't even notice that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. So that's a golden nugget. I actually didn't even know too much about that individual. That's really, really interesting. How do you spell his last name for anyone that wants to watch? Or
Keith Oakley. So
Oakley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him at Ty Lopez's house.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm sure a lot of other great people as well.
Yes.
That's good to hear. So what do you think will happen with the future of Ellenpro? As you have seen success with so many people, what do you think is going to happen in the near future as people realize that the value of knowledge is not a 7 out of 10. The value of knowledge is more a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. And people realize that there's a big recession on the way. And what skills can they have to prepare themselves for that day? Because I'm speaking to people often, I was speaking to one mother, she's living month to month. They just have dimes and quarters left after the month, right? And
right.
What skills do you think people can prepare for, especially in the U.S. and people that will be watching this, to be safe for the next recession that will happen and the industries that will collapse from businesses that will have hundreds and thousands of workers just disappear, such as the automotive industry, which is said to have 13.5% of its workforce gone in 10 to 20 years?
Well, I would say before that happened, start to develop a reading habit, because through reading you will have you would be inspired. You would have more ideas on what kind of potential business, a new business you can launch when that happens or before that happens. It's not necessary to be e-commerce, but there's a lot of new job opportunities out there online, such as affiliate marketing, influencer marketing. Yeah, those there are a lot, and we even have a lot of people making like tons of money from YouTube.
Exactly. And what do you think really works for people that want to first start in an online business? What steps in the beginning seem the scariest, but now that you're at such a high level, they just seem like ones and twos to you, and they realistically are?
Well, I would say just start doing it without thinking too much. And whenever you feel like challenged, trying to find a way out to solve that.
Which is what you said in the beginning about being creative,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So solving problems.
Yes.
And did you, Ellen, now that you enjoy reading so much, did you enjoy reading a lot when you were younger in elementary school and high school?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at
So
all.
it's okay to grow into it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some people are scared to take the jump into reading. And even if your strength is not reading, what other ways do you like to get information in? Whether it be podcasts or some YouTube videos?
I buy a lot of online course myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the quickest way. And also because I spend that money, I feel like I had to really push really hard to get every cent out of that.
Exactly. Nothing comes for free.
Yes.
When
Well,
you
if it's
feel.
free, nobody will take it seriously.
Yeah, that's great. So tell us about a problem solving model that you use in relation to people.
That's very difficult. I think that's another. If it's related to people, there's gonna be a lot of emotion attached. Yeah, so problem solving with people. I don't have the answer for that for now, but I will definitely think of a better answer to respond later.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think a lot of people forget, which I think you'll agree, that people, as Matt says, people have what you want, or they'll tell you how to get what you want, right? Hasn't that been the case so in your life? In almost every occasion, a person has, changed your mindset or showed you a quick strategy to take a ladder up versus, digging a trench.
What's that? What's the question again?
So saying as, when you met certain people in your life, right, haven't they helped you ladder to success instead of just manually doing all the labor and provided you what you want or to tell you how to get it?
Like, which one do I prefer?
Not which one you prefer precisely, simply more as in, what's a simple secret that someone gave to you that really helped increase your growth?
Right. Well, it's not one piece of advice that I got. It's a lot of things that I've seen, that I've met, I've encountered. So it's not really just one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in your life, how much cooler do you feel all the people are around you now at the level that you are now today versus when you were more in a corporate environment at work? How did you feel?
So yeah, I didn't have any like-minded people around me. I do have one, but she lives in London, so I don't really get to hang out with her all the time. And now, because of this, I started coaching business. I started to do networking a lot. So I meet a lot of great people like you, Dave and Matt, and everyone else. So it's been fantastic that I'm able to meet you guys through networking, because I didn't even think about that I would have so many like-minded people around me now. And it really motivates me to keep going forward. So whenever I go to a mastermind or a conference and people are just talking about themselves, okay, I'm a book author, I'm an international speaker. So you just think, oh my God, how come I'm not one yet? So I have to work harder to reach that goal. So that's what it is. Yeah.
That's really interesting. And I think what really will give people a lot of courage and some extra motivation to move on is how you and I, for example, or even you overcame difficulties in our life. For example, I've seen some comments and people, that you do get hate because maybe sometimes your English isn't perfect, right? But you've been training and becoming such an amazing speaker and doing it so well. And not only learning how to speak effectively, but sending a message that's meant to be received as you sent it, which is what you're really amazing at now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So how did you, go through the struggle? And I think a lot of people, and if they don't have the skill, maybe they have social anxiety and overcoming all of that.
It was really difficult. So before all this video happening, I'm introverted. I don't like to talk. And you want me to post a video on Facebook? Talk people? No way. There was no way I could do that. So Matt just pushed me. He pushed me first. He told me this, okay, just go to our Facebook group, talk whatever you like for 5 minutes. And I asked him, so can I prepare a script? He said no. So that's how I start everything. So I just kind of wrote down like a few points that I want to talk about, and I just start doing that. And then after that, I just keep practicing that. I start recording or go on live every week or so. As you know, I'm doing a weekly Facebook Live webcast now.
Yes.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I have no script at all. I just know what I'm going to talk about. That's all inside of my head. And I don't care if people say my English skill isn't perfect. I'm practicing and I'm trying very hard, because me in front of camera to everyone, this is very challenging, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really great note for people to have, right? Whatever struggles they're going through, do something that goes outside your comfort zone, right? Because you don't want to have any regret when you're older at all for anything, even as small as going on a Facebook Live and taking a video of yourself. So where can people find you, Ellen, online? On what channels?
Yeah, right. So you can go to my website, ellenpro.com. That's ELLENPRO.com. And also have a free training session for e-commerce. That's one of my best content so far. And you can just look out for the webinar section. Just register that free course, and I will see you inside of the webinar, and you will learn what to do and what not to do in today's e-commerce.
That's amazing. And is there any last message you'd like to give to people that are watching this, any age, any gender, and any place?
Well, I would say no matter what you're doing, if you're trying to start a business or trying to develop a habit or trying to do something challenge, don't give up.
Persistence.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Okay, thanks.